this?
Welcome to the Killer Comic Show.
Welcome to the Killer Comic Show.
Greatness. Happy Thursday, everyone. How are we doing?
Feels nice to be back. Thursday, 9 p.m. It feels like the natural slot for us boys.
Yeah, it does. It does. How are we all, though? Good? We all good?
Very good, mate. Feels nice to be back in this very small square box. No, it's not even square, it's rectangle.
I only get out of this on a Monday to Friday. On
Yeah.
a Thursday is the only day I'm stuck in this little box. It's a safe little box to be in. I quite like it.
Anybody that's just joining us at the minute can just see us kind of going like that. Some sort of weird name.
Is it Kylie Minogue's Vogue or Madonna's Vogue?
Mm-hmm.
I'll take your word for it, Tom.
How have we been though? Are we all COVID free, injury free,
COVID free, injury free,
money free,
still good looking?
4 out of 5 from me, I guess.
4 out of 5 ain't too bad, is it? But yeah, no, it's good. It's Friday and it's bank holiday, which means it's a 4-day weekend. So looking forward to the 4-day weekend. Have we got any plans?
I'm going
off to Las Vegas.
Las Vegas, nice.
Yes, I'm going home. Going to the motherland on Friday. Tomorrow morning, back on Sunday. And I just realised that there's a Celtic and Rangers match on the Sunday. So it should be all the fun coming home on that flight on Sunday night.
Oh, mate. All the fun of the circus.
So much fun. And like I think because it's bank holiday, the chat is absolutely buzzing. Like we had the first one in tonight. It was someone called Not Quite Mint. First one in tonight. There we go. We've got Panels and a Half Pint Superhero. God damn it, Tom and Evening Peeps. We've got Phil's Nerdiverse.
Beer in hand. Sorry.
Beer in hand. KCS on the laptop. Rangers on the TV. If Carlsberg did Thursdays, I just need to get laid now. Well,
I'm on my way.
What might happen?
You what?
Oh.
Is it paused? He's paused.
Am I back?
He's back. He's back.
There we go. Internet issues. There we go. So yeah, we've got Phil. We've got yo. Did someone get laid? I need to get laid. Edvic, evening all. Happy Easter. 6th scale Padawan. Hello all. Who else? We've got Chris Bell. Ding-a-ling, landed. Watcher Humanoids, everyone's favourite tennis ball. Got the one and only Tim, the Hobgoblin's Hideaway. Fuzzy Dunlop's new logo kind of reminds me of Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, it does. It's nice. I quite like it. Yeah,
I like it. It's very, very nice.
It's like what they call eye-catching. Very eye-catching.
It is. Evening, one and all. Greetings and salutations, gang. Takes me back to my Disco Biscuit days, that theme tune. See, we've gone from Disco Biscuits to Doritos, or Doritos and digestives. That's my life now, Doritos and digestives.
Yeah, but if you were a biscuit, what biscuit would you be?
I'd be a hobnob.
Yeah, I could see that, to be fair. Yeah, I could go, yeah, I definitely think you'd be a hobnob.
100% I'd be a hobnob. I would do.
Andy?
I'd be oh, you've got me. Keep going.
Keep going.
I'll have a think.
Come back.
Evening. We've got GP Venom Chemics and Collectibles. Good evening all. And we've got Chris Bell. Hold on a minute. He's wrote an essay. I wrote a lengthy, hilarious personal introduction, which YouTube reduced to landed. It was one of the funniest pieces of writing ever put on the web and all. Can't remember it now, though. Well, if you do remember it, please repost it because I'm really want to find out what it was.
Yeah, I'm intrigued.
Love a bit of Scooter Fuzzy. There we go. And we've got hashtag WonderFuzzy84. There we go. Wonder Fuzzy. I'm sure in the 1960s or 70s that was a name for something else.
Yeah.
Has anyone seen my Wonder Fuzzy? But so Andy would be a Gary Baldy.
Yeah. Definitely.
I just got that. So how are we saying we're starting the show? Should we do pickups? Because I know I've got some nice bits to show off. So,
Let's do pickups.
Tom,
Pickups.
right, Tom, you go first, son. Go on.
Me? You want me to go
Yes.
first? Okay, so I've not got much this week. This week I had a lovely AOK from my fellow co-host Andy. So I've got the little car, the Batman car that he sent me, which he showed off last week.
Yeah.
So this came this morning. This package actually made my day. So I was really chuffed to get that. But not only did I get that, Andy sent me a book. It's comic book artists from comic book artists. And it's got all the greats in it: Alex Ross, Romita Jr., J. Scott Campbell, Jim Lee, Brian Hitch. Most of my favorite artists are in this book. So I'm really interested to get it open and have a look. I've not opened it yet because I was going to wait till I came on the show and showed everyone, and I'll take some pictures of it and stuff. So yeah, cheers,
wicked,
you really made my day, mate. Like I was having a bit.
You're
of
very welcome. Very welcome, mate.
Morning in the car, so opening this package when it came in, it's like.
Listen, if that keeps you like doing the drawing thing because you've been keeping on at it, and you know you can see how much you enjoy it. Some of the stuff inside that was J. Scott Campbell and Brian Boland is just phenomenal. So enjoy it.
Yeah, I'm like massive thanks for that, mate. Because I'm just starting to get a little bit tired of it, doing it every single day. I mean, I've got this one piece I've been working on, which I'm really excited to show, but I'm really reluctant to finish it because I'm worried that I'm not warming myself up properly before I get into it. So I do a little bit of warm up, and then I'm like, I can't do it now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I'm kind of losing a bit of momentum. But yeah, thanks for that. I reckon I'll keep going. So thank you, mate.
You're welcome.
Also this week I got from A Place in Space, I got the Virgin variant to Alice in Wonderland, which we're going to be talking about a bit later on. I absolutely love this book, and I cannot believe that I got the Virgin cover for what, £4?
$3.95, yeah.
Yeah, so thank you, eBay, thank you, cock-ups. That's probably the best way to describe this. And then finally this week, I've actually been waiting for this book for a very long time. It's come all the way from Japan. It's a reprint, but it's the first ever one-piece book when it first ever came out. So this book is a reprint from the 1980s original that came out. I'm not taking it out of its sleeve yet, but it comes as a double pack with JoJo, which is another series that's quite popular. So they did them as both reprints, but I'm dying to get it open to actually have a look at some of the original artwork.
Oh, it's wicked. It looks like a cereal box.
Yeah,
that's
it's
exactly
really,
what I was about to say. Exactly. I thought it was a
really
cereal box.
cool about these books compared to the American comics. So with the Japanese books, they're every week they come out. It's one big book, but it's got every single book that comes out that week in that one book. So you don't have to buy from DC, or you have to buy from Marvel, or you buy from Boom. They all come out in one compendium book for you to read. It's really quite a good way of doing it, and you only have to pay one price rather than 6 million just to get all the books you want. But yeah, no, I was really excited to get this, and I've been after it for a little while, but it's very hard to come by, and it's quite a rare book, especially the reprints. In the original's even worse. I mean, the original's worth like £6,000-7,000. So I was really happy to get the reprint, and at a really good price, because these are normally like a couple of £100. I managed to get this for like £35, so I'm really chuffed with it. It's never been opened, so that's even better. Unless it has been opened, and just because it's come from Japan, they've just got to.
It actually is. It actually is a cereal box.
Yeah, actually is a cereal box. Yeah, so I'm really pleased with that. And like I said, Andy's package I got this morning with this little car, just really thoughtful. Thank you.
Andy, do you want to go? I enjoy yours because I enjoy it because we sit there for 45 minutes. I enjoy it.
Buckle up. Do you remember when I was a Funko Pop collector? And
that was way back in 19.
I bought Judge Dredd and then retired.
Yes, that was it.
Straight after.
Yeah.
So Fuzzy Dunlop has dragged me back in, kicking and screaming, and we've been doing some trades. And I traded him for three. So for various things, for various comics and stuff, and I got 3 Funko Pops. So the first one I got was Batman.
Nice.
Oh, nice.
No other reason. Yeah, no other reason other than I like the look of it. So
that's a Funko shop. That's a Funko Shop exclusive as well.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Is that good? Cool.
Yeah.
I got the Japanese TV series Spider-Man.
Have you ever watched the Japanese TV series Spider-Man? It is the most trippiest thing in the world. He has a robot.
Cool. I just love the fact that it was kind of a like, you know, I love the graphics in the back.
Yeah, it looks
when I
cool.
received it.
Yeah,
and
that's his
again,
robot.
all in plastic cases, which was really nice of Fuzzy to sort out. But the piece de resistance is the original, I believe, the original Boba Fett, number
Nice.
8.
That's great.
So that's me got like 4 Boba Fett. So if there's any other Boba Fetts, who's in the chats? I'm looking at the likes of Chris Bell and stuff like that. I think he posted up like a Boba Fett the other day. Slide into my DMs, let me know where to find that because I'm going on a bit of a fetish, as it were. Picked up this Ahsoka
Are you
Tano.
back? Where are we?
Yeah, I like those
Absolutely.
retro figures.
Oh, there we go. Look at that.
So
Yeah.
I think Charlie,
this.
it's your internet, mate.
I think it's you, brother.
It is. I think it is me. The detailing on that is awesome.
Yeah,
It's really class. Yeah,
I
so I
love
was happy.
the packaging.
Yeah, really cool. Really, really nice. And then I got some comics. So, like you, Tom, and Charlie, I picked up this bad boy. So, apparently, the story behind this is that there was a bit of a mix-up with Boom Studios, and all the 1s and 50s they released as 1 in 25s, other 1 in 25s as 1 in 10s, and all the 1 in 10s were all general print runs releases. So that's the reason why I think there was a bit of a cock-up on this, but I jumped in the same as you guys and picked this up. So that was a beautiful pickup.
Does it? Nice.
I picked up this.
Nice.
I got Rogue issue number 1, really, really good condition. And I picked up issue number 2, 3, and 4. So that's the full mini run.
I love the old retro kind of foil covers with the foil writing on. I just think it's a really cool touch.
Anytime I see it, I'm like an absolute magpie. I'm just like drawn to them. It doesn't matter what comic it is. I just need to pick it up. I picked up Wonder Woman issue number 22, classic Perez cover there.
Is that the Perez story?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that story. Is it Gods and Monsters?
Yes, I believe so. Yeah, this is issue number 22. So this is going back to what, 1988 or something?
It's one of the best runs, the Gods and Monsters one.
I've got Mr. Very early David Nakayama cover for Grim Fairy Tales issue number. Well, I think this is actually 2017 one shot.
That's nice.
Just a one
shot.
Like
she is packing.
Mm-hmm.
She is indeed. I got Young Avengers Special. Again, another one shot.
Is that Andy or me that's gone?
You.
It's me. Okay. Right, my internet is so messing up tonight. I do apologise.
We've got Young Avengers number 4. So I'm slowly but surely picking up the whole run. I've got issue number 1, so that's the hardest and most expensive one to pick up, but I managed to pick it up quite cheap before it blew up. So
nice.
Don't tell James. I don't know if James is in the chat, if he'll be watching it. In fact, he won't be. He's on holiday at the minute, so he'll probably catch the rewind. But I'm on a bit of a Usagi Yojimbo kick as well.
Oh, yeah.
So I've went down the proverbial rabbit hole in these, and I
pun intended.
Did you like it? I'm glad one person got it. Space Usagi issue number 1, issue number 2, and issue number 3. So that's the complete mini run of that. I got Green Lantern for issue number 1 for absolutely no reason other than it cost me a couple of quid, and it's actually the
Teardrop.
Yes,
mate. That's actually quite a rare book to get.
Yep. So a couple of quid, spotted that straight away, and I had to have it, and it's in really good condition. So happy with that. Bought a cheeky little hip hop variant for Steve Rogers' Captain America, and this is a fairly hard one to come across. It's the Jeffrey Veregi variant. So you remember Jeffrey Veregi done all the sort of it was like the he did like
the yeah.
I'm trying to think of the name, but I can't think of the name. Can't think of the name. I picked up just a filler of Swamp Thing. So this is issue number 72. So I'm close to the end of getting the whole Swamp.
Did you ever watch the Swamp? Did you watch the Swamp Thing TV show?
The one that was only one season, yeah, but it was actually really good.
And then it just stopped.
It just died. But they told you it was ending after the first episode.
Mm-hmm.
So you were like, well, what's the point of me watching
this?
Yeah.
Wonder Woman issue number 7.
Cool, you went all out, didn't you, mate?
I did. Beautiful cover.
Again, that's the for the hardcover, isn't it? For that Gods and Monsters.
Another Perez one. and another gap filler for my ROM collection. So issue number 35. Rum. So that was everything that I picked up. It was another busy week. So what about you, Charlie?
Is my internet all right now?
Sorry, say again.
Yeah.
Is it all right? I just don't know. I do apologise for all you people that I'm wasting your Thursday night. But I actually did what you did. I went on to Replacing Space.
Yeah.
I got one. And I got two.
Uh-oh.
And then I got three.
Flip.
No, so two of them are probably going to go CGC. They're in great condition. Like,
do you know, for a minute there, Charlie, I thought you were going to say giveaway, and I went, oh no. You know what we're like with giveaways.
So one of these came from Sad Lemon, and it was already bought before I knew these were going for $3.99. So I was like, right, okay, so this one will be going CGC. This one will be going CGC. And this one, I might as well just send it CGC. Why not? We'll have a look. So I got that. And then it is, like, let's be honest, it is a great cover. Like, it's only recently because of Tom that I've fallen in love with J. Scott Campbell again. And the detailing on this, man, is...
It makes me want to get the 1 in 50.
I was bidding for the 1 in 50.
Wow.
I was bidding for the 1 in 50, and it was on like £9 with like 1 minute to spare. And then all of a sudden, it just rocketed up to like £37. And I was like, oh, it jumps quite, but it is really great. It's we'll get onto it later, but the detailing is amazing. And I know J. Scott Campbell comes into a lot of criticism, like he does like Disney Fairyland, princesses and stuff like that. But don't fix it if it ain't broken. Do you know what I mean? It looks great.
He did a really interesting sci-fi FX that do the YouTube channel where they sometimes follow the artists and stuff. His particular bit where they talk to him about it, he's been criticized for being too Disney, too animated. Well, the thing is, his background is animation. That's where he started. That's how he became an artist. Is he did video game design. He did designs for Disney. Like, he was really like into the whole animation thing. That's why people love his style. And I recently watched a guy called Ergo Josh, who does a lot of stuff about art and like what we see with our heads. And he's talking about how pretty much everyone can recognize Disney like that. So if you can get your style like Disney's, people will always go, right, that's so-and-so, which is the same as J. Scott Campbell. You can tell a J. Scott Campbell cover a mile away, which is really good. And it's the same with Jock. Jock's got that unique style where you can be like, right, that's definitely 100% a Jock cover.
Yeah,
it's really hard to come by.
Yeah, it's almost like his brand type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
It is.
Yeah.
It is really like his brand as well. But yeah, so I picked up 3 of them. I was after the 1 in 50, but who knows? I might go on a tangent and have a look at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and see if I can spot one. This is just the strange thing is I can fit in this car. I drove it to Sainsbury's earlier to pick up my beer. And it's a lovely drive, mate. I'll tell you, it's awesome. I doubt I'll take this out of the box. My kids might have other ideas, but I'm not taking it out of the box. So, Andy, thank you very much for that. But then, not only does he send me that, I'm thinking, bloody hell, that's a big box to send in a micro machine. He knows I'm collecting my Batman, so he sends me that one.
Nice.
That one. This is great. This is
Francesco Mattina.
I love my Mattinas.
Mattina covers so good.
This one. Got that one. That one. That one. Got that one. These are great covers, you know, like the Dark Knight ones. And I love the old DC logo.
It's a really good run. That.
I prefer. Yeah, I prefer this DC logo. I prefer it. And then we've got that one. Cool, talking about rabbits, there we go. Oh, am I going down the hole?
That's the first appearance of
White Rabbit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great, that one. And then we've got, look at that. And then we've got this one. This is one of my favourite covers, The Rise of Bane. Cool. Like, this is awesome, yeah, where he breaks his back. And then that one. So massive shout out to the Oracle. Again, he knew I wanted them, and he kind of sent it to me, so that was great. But yeah, that's all I picked up this week. So it was pretty. I kind of went down a rabbit hole, and ended up the other end with you,
Did you
misfits.
see that? Charlie, did you see this comment?
Andy's gone full. He has gone full.
I should have put my
this
white
week.
beard on.
I was just about to call you Andy Claus, but I can't spell Claus.
Klaus.
And I think James has maybe hit the nail on the head there. That might have something to do with it as well.
Yeah.
And his wife said he's got too many comics. And not enough friends.
Yeah, look, and we've got this grade off with Charlie, Alice Ever After. If I send off 3 of them and they all come back 9.6, I'm out the CGC game. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. I will be sending my comics to Andy. Andy will be buying my comics and then sending them for me, and I'll just pay him. But yeah, so that's all I picked off this week. That's all I picked up this week. That was great.
Nice.
It was
nice pickups.
And should we get into the show?
Let's do it.
Cover time.
Let's do it. Disney. That's very Disney-esque, isn't it? Love that. I do like that. So this is it. We're into the business end now. This is business end. This is where we get serious. This is where the competition becomes fierce.
Game face.
I would like to just raise a point of Stuart's inquiry about last week's show and vote.
It was. I'm gonna stop you right now. It was after the vote. It's done. It's done.
Okay.
Go on. You can. I'm only saying that. I'm only saying that because I've already done the slide. So
you don't want to edit it. No, I'll tell you what.
I can't edit.
I tell you what, Charlie. If you want that one, you can have that one.
Yeah, thank you very much. I'll take the win.
I'll have that win.
I'll take it. It's the only thing I'm getting given these days instead of it taken away. So I'm taking it. I'm going to have it. So anyway, this is the business end. This is where we get our poker faces on. This is where we sell our comic covers. We're doing good. It's great.
This week, I really don't have to sell mine, guys. That it sells itself.
Okay, so this is obviously week 15. This is April the 13th. This is the killer covers. Up first, we have.
Stop. Wait, guys. Look. As I said, guys, there's not much I'd need to say about this comic cover.
Well, don't say anything then. Let's have some silence.
You did sound like my wife there. Sandman Universe. Nightmare. Oh, stop. Nightmare Country, issue number 1. The Jenny Frisson. That's Jenny Frisson, the 1 in 100 cardstock variant. This is my top cover of the year thus far. This is absolute perfection. And this is my cover of the week, guys. This has to be the winner. This is superb. Now, I know you guys aren't going to vote just to annoy me. But that's fine, because in my heart, I know this is the cover of the week. Tom, you're next.
I've got to say, I'm in love with this cover.
I don't know if I want to bother.
When
don't jinx
it now.
When I first see this coming out, I was like, because I read the Sandman universe, freaky as anything. Like, really enjoyed it. And when I see this cover, I was like, I think this is one of the best covers Jenny Frisson's ever done.
And that's saying something, because there is a lot of good covers. It's one of those ones where, sometimes whenever you guys put up your book, your covers in the chat, and I go, oh, gee, I wish I'd have seen that one. And this was the one this week where I went, you know what, this has to be my pick of the week. So
she is getting better. I will say it. Her hands are on point.
Listen,
they're not as manly. Well, they are still manly, but they're not as manly.
And that's the first thing that you see is her hands when you look at that cover.
No, I was looking at the skull at the bottom.
I was meaning the alluring eyes and the perfection and the hair, the flow. Even
I was looking at the X-ray behind her.
Well, exactly, and not a lot of people would have actually noticed that. Even though it's a dark cover as well, it's beautiful. Look, I don't need to oversell this one.
Well, you've oversold it already. You've oversold
I thought
it.
he was going to let the cover do the talking for itself, and he's just talked for 10 minutes.
But I think Phil's right. She is hot. She is hot. She is very, very hot. She's a head and shoulders above the rest. But there we go. And up next, we've got, look at this, Venom number 7. So this is Gabrielle Delotto, variant B.
Another Venom book, another Venom cover.
The simplicity of this cover is striking. The fact that you've got a Venom and the way that he's done the artwork and he's done the paintwork to make him look metallic on a metallic background for the metallic to stand out looks incredible. I ain't even selling it no more. This is Venom, issue number 7. Fantastic comic cover. Should we move on?
Guys, it's another Venom cover. It's another typical Gabrielle Delotto cover that you would expect.
You like it, Andy. But you like
There is nothing special about this cover.
I actually would like to disagree with you on the not special thing, because if anything, this Venom looks like water, which you don't normally get with the symbiotes, and they're supposed to be like that, aren't they? They're supposed to be symbiotic, kind of fluid.
It looks like water because it's dribble. That's what I'm
Wow. You know when I pitched this at the beginning, I thought this is the business end. This is the business end, and I feel like I'm going to have to say Alan Sugar. You're fired.
I feel like
you're fired.
This week we've just stepped it up a little bit with the covers. I feel like punches are being thrown.
I think it is. But this for me.
Did he forget to do his feet?
No, don't even get me started on feet. We've had a conversation this week about feet, and we've had a conversation about Ugg boots as well. So let's not get started on
Ugg boots.
Oh, I think you was involved in a conversation, but I think it was a boring conversation. You probably dozed off, Tom. I dozed off while I was writing the message. But
nice.
See, there we go. Look, that's a better cover. There we go. It is. It's business.
When did he send that? When did he send that comment?
See,
wait a minute. When did GP Venom become a comic cover expert?
Andy talking himself out of a win here. See, the simplicity of this cover, and the fact is that they've made Venom look like a Demogorgon from Stranger Things,
and then got bored and never even done a background.
But the thing is, you don't need to focus on the feet when you've got Venom looking like this. When he's done it in metallic oil work and the simplicity of the intricity of the artwork of this.
Simplicity and what?
And the intricity. Is intricity even a word?
It is now. I've just claimed it. So there we go. This is my Venom.
The moral of the story is, guys, just vote for Tom. All right. Next.
There we go. And I haven't even added Tom's thing.
Oh, of course.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, the gloves are off, kids. So I've gone for Something in the Children, issue 14 reprint, done by the David Mack. The Mack Daddy has done it again with his amazing watercolors. I absolutely love this cover, and I like the fact that it looks like she's got kind of angel wings coming out the back, and her hair is all it's all negative space. I love the fact it's got the little characters at the bottom. It's got all the scribbles around the outside, which kind of tells you what the book is all about. If you've never read it, I love this one. This is probably one of my favorites.
I've got to say, I see this pack in Gosh Comics on Wednesday. I think it was either yesterday or Tuesday. I know, Andy, you've picked this up. The David Mack Slaughter pack, right, is sublime. Like, every single cover that he's done is amazing. So Tom, you could have picked any single one, and I think you was.
Well, it was tossed up between the three. The three that came out this week, it was the 13, 14, and 15. Now, I put in 15 because it looked like she got angel wings coming out the back, but I actually prefer this one, not to take a leaf out of Andy's book, but I think the way he's done the eyes is pretty perfection, because it pulls you straight in, and the way she's holding the knife and everything, it pulls you straight into the whole story. Like, it's very seducing, I think. So I went for that one for that reason, because it literally just caught my eye. I was like, right, that's for me. I like that one.
I'm just going to enter this into the chat. We've got Jennifer and we've got Charlie with another Venom, and we've got Tom with the Return of the Mac.
Return of the Mac. Hit the can.
Right. So what we're going to do, as always, we'll ask the community and we'll get it. So let's go over again. We've got Jennifer and we've got Venom. Now this Venom cover is absolutely amazing.
We've got Jennifer.
And we've got this one, and then we've got this sublime Return of the David Mack Slaughter Pack. And but we do have this one. It is quite nice, really nice. But then we got this one, and it's
Hold on, go back. Is the teeth in the eyes? There's teeth in the eyes.
Yes. Have you never had that before? You've never woke up in the morning and just thought, "Oh, my teeth are in my eyes."
Yeah, I have actually. I have woken up with teeth in my eyes.
But yeah, so yeah, I've got to give it. This is do you know the one thing I like about this cover, Andy, is the X-ray in the background because
it's not Venom.
It's not Venom anyway.
Do you know what I really like about this one is the fact that the next slide is Venom.
Mm-hmm. And if I do it again, it's another Venom.
Exactly.
So there we go.
What's even better about this one? If you slick on one, it's me, David Mack.
It's the Return of the Mac, David Mack Slaughter Pack. Cool. Say that when you've had a couple of Stellars. Anyway, the vote is live. Get your dingly dangly buttons pressing. Let's have a good one. Let's see who wins it this week. So anyway, it's the Killer Comic Show. It wouldn't be the Killer Comic Show if we didn't actually do what we was meant to do and review comics. So these are the comics we picked last week. It was The Ocean Will Take Us by the fantastic Aftershock Comics, Rich Douek, friend of the Killer Comic Show, Sea of Sorrows masterpiece. We've got Alice Ever After, which was picked by Mr. Malin down below, Dan Panosian, and then we have Little Monsters picked by Andy the Oracle from Image Comics, and it's written by the one and only Jeff Lemire. Up first, it's you. Oh, it's you, Andy. Here we go.
Just me. Yeah, I went for Little Monsters issue number 2. Really enjoyed the first issue, which we reviewed. We've got a couple of covers there. You've got how was it you pronounce Dustin's? Is it Yen?
It's Dustin Nguyen.
Dustin Nguyen. Okay.
Dustin
and then
Nguyen.
we've got.
I actually think it's Derek Yen.
But the thing is, right? If you said Dustin Yen, someone would be like, "Where you been, Dustin?" Because you just sounds like, "Yeah, I'm been Dustin Yen. I'm Dustin Yen. I'm Dustin Yen."
Okay, Mr. Yen does a great main cover, and then cover B is Tonchi Zonjic? Whoa!
It's actually called Trevor Zonic.
I pronounced that really, really badly, and it was nothing to do with my internet connection. Guys, I really, really enjoyed this book. Again, I thought it was fantastic. I think issue 1 was kind of a soft introduction to a lot of a bunch of sort of cute kids who just happened to be vampires. And issue 2 kind of wrapped it up by 100 miles an hour, and we see the true kind of a thirst for blood that these kids have. I picked a couple of pages there to sort of represent not only the artwork but the subtle use of color in this book. Again, they went for the black and white pages, which I really, really like. I think I can't imagine this in a full-blown color comic anymore. That just suits the narrative. And you've got the page on the right-hand side here, which kind of sums up the issue as a whole. You've got the character there who gets their first taste of human blood, and it's that look on the character's face where, I think, is it that Billy's the
we've all been there.
Yeah, Billy's that kid. Yeah,
we've all been there. We've all been there.
Absolutely. And he just looks and he goes, what is going on here? you know what it's like. So he's kind of going through like a bit of a transformation, and it feels as if he's going to become the antagonist of this story, because he's got that sort of feel about him. And it feels as if it was a natural flow for this issue. It wasn't as if it was two majorly separate issues. I could see this just reading this. If you haven't picked up issue 1, just read the 2 issues and it will flow really, really nicely. These children in this book are absolute like predators. Like they're a thirst for blood. They're out to kill. And I think in issue 1 we kind of forgot that, because we were led by Jeff Lemire into a false sense that these are just cute kids who happen to be alone in a big city with no adults. I'm really looking forward to the rest of this story. I think it's getting set up really, really well. And the character dynamics that we're already seeing in the first 2 issues are pretty much spot on. So yeah, I really enjoyed this. I thought this was an absolute killer for me in more ways than one, pardon the pun. What were you guys?
Tom?
Charlie?
Tom?
Oh, you want me? Yeah, I can go. Yeah, I agree. I thought it was really, really good. I thought it was a lovely follow-on from issue 1. You got a really good bit of backstory to that one character whose name I've forgotten. But it's the kid on the left-hand side. So you get a little bit to look at like their backstory and how they are. I like that it's leading to this fact that they've had their first taste of blood. And like you said, he's going to become the antagonist. So that's I find that really interesting. But I also find what's interesting is the character that they give you the backstory for, the really quiet character who has had no dialogue at all in any of either the motion is just all done by the drawing, which is sublime, by the way. The artwork in this is absolutely sublime. I love the two-tone color and then the splash of red. But like that one character that's got no dialogue, I'm convinced that that's your hero of the story. And he's going to be the one that has never had human blood and refuses to have human blood because of the fact that he lost his father at the start. I think that's going to be a beautiful part of the story. Although overall, great book, definitely a killer from me. I thought it was quality. And like you said, Andy, I think it flows really well from issue 1 to 2. I think this is going to make a beautiful graphic novel for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Go on then, Charlie. What do you think?
I'm really into this, and I think the issue number 2 opened quite powerfully with the character on the left. I forget his name, but I think it's like the backstory of when he's looking after his granddad. And he's kind of like, well, his granddad's dying, he's on his deathbed, and he goes out to get, it's either food or water. He goes out and he comes back.
It's wood, isn't it?
He goes out to get wood, and by the time he comes, like the granddad saying to him, "Don't go out. Just don't worry about me. I'm fine. I'm warm enough. Just look after yourself. Don't go out." He goes out, gets the wood, comes back, and then he's met with this grim reaper, vampire-esque type of person, and he's chomping on the bit of his granddad, and he's kind of just like, wow, this like, and that's the start of it for me. If this was issue number 1, it's a perfect starting point because it gives the backstory of each individual character. Now we've seen 3 or 4 characters. I think we've seen the twins so far. We've kind of had a brief overview of each individual character in the first one. The first one didn't really tell too much. It was all about like the character building and how we're finding out about the individual characters and where they've come from and stuff. In this one, it was just great. Like the character development of this, and it's this panel on the right hand side. It's just the flash of red. There's nothing else in it, and you're drawn like directly to the red. And you just think this is a vampire comic that I am very much looking forward to, and it's great.
I think that panel in the top right hand corner could easily be the comic cover for like a second printing or something like that. Because I think if you've seen that in the shelves, you would just pick it up straight away.
What's it for me? It kind of reminds me of like a Vampirella type of cover.
Yeah.
Like I think there was a Vampirella cover that did that with a vampire teeth, and it was it Ben Harvey that did a Vampirella cover with, it was just a white, and you could just see the vampire tooth and the blood was trickling down. That is so impactful, and it was great. Like Jeff Lemire is absolutely killing it. Derek Wynn is just fantastic on the art. Absolutely loved it. So yeah, 100% killer for me. I'm all in, and this is going to be great as a trade paperback.
Yeah,
it's interesting what you said about this issue could have been easily issue number 1. Like if you hadn't picked up, you just picked this up, you could have easily got on board with a story. There wouldn't obviously been the background of the characters, but I would say if you missed it in issue number 1 and you aren't on this, definitely give it a read. It's well worth it.
It was great. So yeah, are we across the board? Is that 3 killers?
That is a killer, mate.
Killer. Ironically, we're talking about vampires, and the comic was a killer. So yes. Has anyone in the chat read it? I'd be interested to find out what people thought about this, because some people are put off by the black and white comics, but who knows? It might be.
I like black and white comics. Excuse me.
Yeah, I think it was good. Up next, let's do this. It's you, Thomas. We have 8 covers for this, by the way.
8 covers, brilliant. Yes. I love being able to not be able to read what we've got to say. So yeah, I picked the Alice Ever After, which is the second part of the Alice in Wonderland story that comes from Boom Studios. It's written by Dan Panosian. It's written by him. Artwork by Giorgio Spalletta.
Get in, Tom.
Yep. So the first cover is, I think, done by. It's not Dan Panosian who does the cover for that, is it?
I think it is. Is it
Spalletta?
him?
I don't know. Let's just say it's Dan Panosian, yeah?
Yeah.
Because that's what it says.
Let's do that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they cover B by who, Andy?
It's Jenny Frison.
And then cover C is the 1 in 25, who's also done by
Jenny Frison.
And then we've got the 1 in 50, which is by J. Scott Campbell, black and white version. That's also come out. So you've also got the Dan Panosian unlockable variant, which is a virgin cover of the original of the cover A. You've got the 1 in 50 variant, 1 in 10 variant of the J. Scott Campbell variant, which is the completely virgin variant. Then you've got the J. Scott Campbell trade variant, and then you've also got the John Jang variant, which is what Andy picked last week for his cover pick, which is actually probably the best one, I think. I like the J. Scott Campbell one, but the John Jang actually represents what happens in the book, which is
that John Jang cover would look amazing with 3D glasses on, and the way that he's done that without having to wear 3D glasses is incredible.
Yeah, it's really, really good. He's such a clever man.
I would love to know. We'll have to get him back on the show. I know he wants to come back on because he was speaking to you the other day, Tom. But how do you even think about like the mindset to do that and the ability to create a 3D visual comic without it being 3D?
Yeah,
is incredible.
It's clever thinking about the colours and how they work.
And he's done a few covers like this, and they're sublime. It's amazing. So,
not sublime enough to win cover of the week, though.
Clearly not.
Oh, nearly. You was close.
But what can we do? And I've just checked; it is Dan Panosian that done the unlockable variant and the main cover. So
I didn't realise he was an artist, but yeah, that's quality. That is actually quality. Anyway, guys, so yeah, this is the second part of the Alice in Wonderland story written by Dan Panosian. That comes straight off the bat of Alice in Wonderland. She's all grown up now. She's an adult. She's no longer a child who's been medicated by her father for having her teeth removed. So he's actually caused her to become a drug addict. So this story is all about her addiction and how she's trying to get the drugs to fuel her addiction. She does a bit like this kind of theft in it. There's all sorts of stuff that go in it. I really liked this book, and my favorite part of this book is when she gets her drugs and goes back to Wonderland, and the different concepts in art style from one to the other. It's still done by the same artist, but it's a completely different art style. So on the left, you've got the main story art style, and then on the right, you've got when she's in Wonderland. It's a completely different style, and I just think it's really, really nice. Also, the emotion that is captured through the artwork in this is great. Like on panel on the left-hand side, with her wiping her tears, kind of making herself all, sorting herself out, ready to go into the house to be all posh because of her family being posh, even though she's just been, arguing with one of the ruffians who's given her drugs.
Ruffian, I love that word.
Yeah, ruffian.
You're a
so
ruffian.
like basically, she's just a bit down on her luck because her family don't like her that much because of the whole fiasco with her being Alice in Wonderland. So she's really struggling. But her only escape is to go to Wonderland. So, but her fix to go to Wonderland, she's got to do some bad shit to go to Wonderland, like steal stuff or like basically just be an arse. And this book really progresses along that line of her family not liking her that much. But the love that she's got for her cats is really cool. There's a really cool panel towards the end where the cats knock over like a little glass jar full of fish, which then gives her an idea of what she's going to do to like break the mold, which is really, really good. I thought that was really clever. I thought it was really well written. I thought the artwork was stunning. I really did like this book. I don't know if it would be my top pick this week. I think Little Monsters would have been my top pick, but this was definitely close to it. I really, really did enjoy this book. What did you guys think?
So I'm going to save Andy to the last because I've just seen a comment. GP Venom is saying, I hope issue 2 is better than the first. And Andy agrees. So I'm going to go next, right? For me, I was so looking forward to this comic. Like, I was so looking forward to it. It lived up for me. It lived up for it. Like I'm a massive Alice in Wonderland fan. I might not look like it because I'm a ruffian, but
a ruffian.
I really loved it. Like, I really enjoyed it. It kind of took me back to my childhood, Alice in Wonderland. And then one thing I've got to say on the right hand side, Johnny Depp has not aged well during this court case, has he?
Yeah, no, not at all.
During this court case with Amber Heard, it's really taken its toll on him. Like, he is looking. Yeah, but I thought it was great. Like, I don't think anyone that was expecting anything more from this comic. I think he was over preaching, man. Like this comic is great. Like the artwork in it, I think the storytelling in it, it's a kid's fantasy novel for
Yeah.
grown adults. And I'm not even going to lie, I fell in love with Alice all over
Who?
again. Who the fuck is Alice? But it was great. Like, come on, like let's be honest. Like the fact is that there's two stories to this comic. There's, as you said, there's the world that she lives in where she's grown up and she's kind of left that fantasy world behind her to the dismay of her parents. They kind of think like, Alice, you need to grow up. You need to get yourself sorted. Like stop hanging around with these hoodlums and robbing like charity shops. Just sort your life out. But then on the flip side of that, she's like, I'm not gonna, it's kind of like Peter Pan-esque. Like she knows she should grow up, but she doesn't want to because her safe haven is always going back to Wonderland and being surrounded by the people that appreciate her. And I think that's the overarching theme of this story, is that that's all she wants. All she wants to do is be appreciated and be felt part of something, because with her family, she's never lived up to the expectations of her dad, who's like a super doctor. She's never lived up to the expectations of her sisters that are like wealthy and well spoken and high and mighty. They dress to impress. They get the best of everything, and her parents and the mum and dad like praise them. With Alice, she's like the black sheep of the family, and I think where she's kind of got a ruffian, I love that word, I'm going to use it again. Where she's got kind of got a ruffian as a bit on the side and her fella. She likes that because that's kind of her way back to like, well, yeah, I'm trying to be something I'm not, but I can kind of always go back to that. And then when she's in Wonderland, I just thought it was great. Like I'm waffling now because it was a great comment. I loved it. And it was.
Don't you think, Charlie? Like it hits home a little bit with pretty much everybody in the fact that we all chase for that little bit of Wonderland. We all want to have that escapism, which is why we read comic books in the first place. Yeah. We all read comic books to be escape into a different reality and be involved in something else, which is essentially what Alice is doing by trying to go back to Wonderland. So yeah,
I've got to say, Wakazashi's tea house is probably sitting at his table looking Genki, because he always is. He's having his cup of chai tea, and he's morning, guys. This live stream is getting curiouser and curiouser. Comment of the night for me. Comment of the night. There we go. Or the morning, wherever you are in the world. But yes,
morning.
I loved it. It was welcome home, Alice. Alice, who the fuck is Alice? Absolute killer for me. Andy, you can tone it down a bit now.
Can you kick him out?
Wow, guys, calm down. I think it's always a challenge whenever you are getting into a book that is a modern classic, such as Alice in Wonderland, because you have those expectations that are really quite high, and you've got a lot of knowledge in the backstory of Alice in Wonderland. So you go in there kind of a half expecting what you're going to get. I think that, along with all the covers that we've seen for this book, kind of already told us what we were going to get in issue number 1 without having to read issue number 1, which for me made the story just, I hate to use the word predictable, but I'm going to use it. We knew what we were going to get with this book, and we got it. I thought the underlying theme of addiction and how people, as Tom was saying, everybody just wants a little bit of Wonderland, and people try to find that Wonderland in each different ways. Some drink, some use drugs, some, read comic books, whatever. And I thought that was a really cool theme and story to look at in the modern age. I thought the coolest thing about this book was the narration from the two cats, Kitty and Snowdrop. I thought that was really fun, and I'd love to see more of their characters come into the book. So not only are they narrating the book, but they become central to whatever's going to happen to Alice. I think that'd be a cool spin on it. I think much like Alice in Wonderland, this book is escapism. The artwork is phenomenal. You could look at it for days and find new things, especially in that page on the right-hand side. But for me, it was really, really slow, and it never managed to pick up a really good rhythm for me. It's never a good sign for me whenever I was going to say turning a page, but in this essence, flicking through a page on an iPad, and you're like, oh, I've got another page to go. All right, okay, when's this? And nothing really actually happened in this issue for me. Nothing of any.
Do you know what I found myself doing though? Is that I read it once, and then I found myself reading it again to see if I could spot any Easter eggs. And it's good because Tom's picked out this panel on the left-hand side, and obviously it's the same in the movie, like it's the same in the film. You notice things from Wonderland that you notice in the real world. So obviously the knocker on the door is obviously the White Rabbit. I might be wrong, but her butler looks like the White Rabbit. Yeah, like with his glasses and stuff like that. So that
go on, Tom. I was going to say, I have a feeling that the character that she likes, who gives her drugs, is the White Rabbit, because he's in a rush constantly.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of things I picked up like that.
I don't think I was on enough drugs to think about that when I was. I clearly should have had more. Seriously, like I think there's a good. This has got promise. This book has got real potential for me. I think it's the art is visually good enough for me to have a go at issue number 2, but it's going to have to pick up the pace for me and be just that little bit less predictable.
Can we just? Wakazashi's Tea House is recovering from having a wisdom tooth pulled out yesterday. He needs some of those drugs. Alice is on 3. So can we kind of give a unanimous?
I thought you were going to say, can we all start a Kickstarter? I was like,
no. So if we can on 3, just give him a unanimous 1, 2, 3. There we go. I hope that made you feel better. It probably didn't. It probably made you feel worse, and you're going.
Yeah, let's patronise him. That'll make him feel better.
At the screen. But no, we hope you're getting well, mate. I hope you. I had wisdom teeth removed, and then I only had 1 removed because they realised there wasn't enough wisdom to take out the other one. So, but you know, there we go. True that. But yeah, Andy, is it a killer or a binner?
It's a binner from me.
Wow, I really don't know how to kick him out, Tom. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Okay, well look, this comic isn't for everyone. Well, it is just not Andy, but it was great. it was an awesome comic. I loved it, and that's why I picked up. I actually do think I picked up the 3 Virgin covers, and I think I picked up the trade as well. But why not? I love it. It's great. Look, a Kickstarter is a great idea. Yeah,
I'm on it.
There we go. So that was it. Welcome home, Alice. There we go. So it's 2 killers, 1 binner. While we're on the subject of a killer or a binner, shall we have a look? Let's have a look at the poll. So in 3rd position is another Venom comic. Yep, we kind of knew that. In 2nd place, we've got Andy Jenny Frisk. Hold on a minute.
No way! Is
there pigs flying? Is it a full moon? Tom is winning with 47% of the vote.
Come on, Tom.
Please.
There we go.
Just one win.
Right, so everyone in the chat that I transferred £5 via PayPal today to vote for Tom, living up to it, guys. Well done. This is great. So right, on to the next comic. There we go. So this is The Oceans Will Take Us. This is written by Rich Douek, who obviously worked really closely with his good friend Alex Cormack to give us the fantastic Sea of Sorrows last year. And then we've got the art by Carlos Olivares. This is the main cover by... No, it's not. It's wrong. I don't know who these covers are. I've got it wrong. The main cover is by Dustin Nguyen, and cover B is by Trevor Zonchech. There we go. So yes, this.
Are these is this totally copy and paste from Little Monsters? One job. So anyway, this
comic tells a story of a small town that something's happening in the water, and the thing is with Richard Douek. I'm kind of now putting Walter and Richard Douek together because the simplicity and the fantastic comic book he created with Sea of Sorrows, it kind of fell into place that the next thing he was going to bring out was going to be sea related, and I really enjoyed this. I really enjoyed it. For me, I think I mentioned to you guys last week when I said I was picking this. This kind of reminded me, like the way that it was. The way that it was done with the art and the way that it was done with the narrative kind of reminded me of Proctor Valley Road. Yeah, like Proctor Valley Road was a really good book, and it's kind of been given to TV and Netflix and whatever now. But this story is great. Like it kind of tells of the stories like people are going missing in the water, and it's all about, like, for me, I kind of got, it was like the the swimmers in the school. Like there's a new person that joins, and he's come from I think he's come from Mexico, and he's been like a really good swimmer. He's been like the top of his class, winning swim races. He's done it all, and basically he's come to this new place. He's moved with his mum, and it's a really small place where everyone works for the same company. And I think it was quite telling that early on it was mentioned that this company is quite important and influential throughout this town. So that they're building like a chemical plant or something along those lines. And I kind of, to begin with, I was kind of like, this is what's under the water. We've already been given a glimpse into what's living in the ocean. This is what's going to take us. What I didn't expect is what happened halfway through when they're having the race, because I was like, right, okay, they've thrown another something into the pond here, and you kind of get a different glimpse. Pun intended, yeah. You kind of get a different glimpses to think, well, hold on, it's not as simple as this is panning out. It's about swimmers. It's about one of the best swimmers in the land, like racing against his other mates to get onto the team and become like the head. I was really interested. I was more interested in this than I thought I was going to be. Like when I first picked up and looked at it, I was like, this is kind of like a kid's comic. It looks like a kid's comic. But I really enjoyed it because halfway through you kind of find out, well, hold on, this isn't as clear cut as you think it's going to be. And I've got to say, I'm really into it. And I thought it was really good at the end when they give the overview of the newspaper clipping of the sister. I think it's either the sister or the brother that's gone missing. And I was really interested in that. I thought the way that they'd done it, it looked like it was a town. It was posted on a town notice board. And it seems like one of them close-knit communities where everyone knows what's going on, or do they? Everyone's got secrets to hide. And it's clear that these secrets come out over the few pages. I think it's from page 26 to 27. You kind of understand what these secrets are. But I loved it. I'm really into it. I think I'm going to definitely be picking it up on issue number 2. Andy, what did you think?
I thought it was a fun comic. I think it was like, it's like an 80s, 90s sort of teen horror movie comic. It's kind of feels like a little bit of the Lost Boys movie. That's the kind of a vibe that I got from it. I think whenever you've got Rich Douek, supernatural, a water theme, I think you're onto a winner. The guy knows how to write a really good story. So I don't think there was any worry in that happening. I think for me, what really sold this book was the artwork and the color work. I thought it really suited that kind of a teen horror theme. I thought the development of the characters was good, but there was a real lot to take on board. There was a lot of, character information, a lot of story. You learned about everything, so you were really well set up after reading this issue. I thought it was good. Yeah, it was good. I think maybe my expectations were set because I knew what Rich Douek had done before. And I love all his past work. So I think this one's going to maybe take another issue or two to get into the vibe of it. But I thought it was a really solid first issue, and I would definitely be looking forward to seeing what happens in issue 2.
Sometimes I have to say I like the simplicity of the artwork. Like I like the cartoon-esque feel of it, because I think sometimes we read a lot from Image and we read a lot from Boom Studios, and it's quite graphically intent. It's quite, you have to focus on what you're looking at. With this, it was easy to read and it was easy to look at, and I quite enjoyed that.
And that is some pointy nose that the antagonist has.
It is off my shelves. Of literally just that is the pointiest nose ever. It's going to poke the other guy's eyes out. I think it is. I think that's a very, very pointy nose. All the better to poke you with, my dear. Tom.
Yo.
Yes. I agree. We totally agree with Andy. I think it feels like a 80s teen horror movie. I thought it was good. I really enjoyed the artwork. I think the way that they've portrayed the antagonist, like you said, with the pointy nose and the fact that he's got that dark ring around his eye because he's basically a drug addict is amazing. I think that's a really clever way of doing it because it makes you instantly think, okay, there's something not right about this kid. And then you kind of find out a bit more as the book goes on. But I think you're right. The company that own or, everyone works for on the island is going to be a big major part to this. And I have a feeling that it's going to be his dad or his uncle or brother that runs that company. And that's where this drug or whatever it is coming from. I think it's really interesting. Like you said, it lends itself to the writer. I mean, he's amazing at writing this kind of stuff. the whole water thing. I mean, it really is. I thought it was really good, to be honest. My only criticism, for me personally, is I had to read it twice, because I read it the first time round and thought this is a bit boring, and then I realised that I might have just been a bit tired, and just because I'd read Alice and I'd read the other one, that I probably shouldn't have read all three in one go, if you like my drift. So I reread this one just before we came on. So I'm glad I did, because it is actually really good, and I really did enjoy it. It's probably the lowest one of the three for me this week, but I did really enjoy it. So it was definitely a killer from me.
It's really interesting you mentioned that though, Tom, about like how you feel when you're reading a book can influence how you feel about that book. Because I've definitely found that over the last few weeks that depending on what type of day I've had at work and stuff like that will influence how I've reacted to reading the books in the evening. I think that's really interesting that you picked that up.
I would be really interested to find out how people in the chat read comics. Now, it might sound like a stupid question, but some people can read comics when there's other people around, like talking, and they can kind of block out the noise and they can kind of read. I have to, if I'm going to concentrate solely on a comic and get involved and immersed in the comic, I can't read with anything on, because I get distracted by the TV. I can't listen to music when I'm reading. I kind of have to read in silence, and I kind of just have to give. If I don't give everything to the comic I'm reading, I forget about it. And I read these comics when they came out a week ago, and I haven't reread them. And that's kind of the way that I do it. I kind of think if I don't read them like that, I forget about them. I get distracted very easily. What was that? Sorry, but I have to read it like that. I'd be interested to find out how other people read, to be fair.
I'm exactly the same, mate. I either have to read in bed, like once everything's done, the day's done, I either read then, or I find myself an hour or so during the day where I have no distractions and I read, because I can't do it otherwise. Because if I've got like the TV on, or if the missus is watching the TV or some crap program, as much as I don't want to watch it and I start reading, I'm constantly going, oh, what's that person doing? What's going on? Who's that then?
Especially if you've got a book with a lot of narrative in it. So you really need to concentrate in the likes of Alice in Wonderland. Whereas I don't think you need as much concentration in this book, because it's less narrative and more visual.
Yeah, see, Chris Bell, I have to be on my own. If not, I take nothing in and have to read pages over and over. I've done that quite a few times. I've got into bed and I think, well, I'm going to read a comic. And then before you know it, my iPad's falling on my face and I'm like, I'm awake. And yeah, I've missed half the chapter or whatever I'm reading. But I'm going to say this was a killer for me just because I'm intrigued. Like, I am intrigued. It's totally on the flip side of what Rich did for Sea of Sorrows. And I'm interested. I was very interested in Sea of Sorrows, so I'm interested to see how this pans out, because it's going on a totally different tangent. I'm interested in that, and that's credit to Rich for creating such a like dynamic comic reading experience, something totally different from Sea of Sorrows.
I would say it's a killer for me. I would base that on having trust in Rich and that he has a plan, he knows what he's doing, having read his previous work. I think if you're going into this book having not experienced that other work, then I think maybe some people might find this difficult to keep on. But for me, it's a killer.
Yeah, I'm going to say the same. I think it's a killer, purely for the artwork. And like you said, it's a build-up issue. And I think if you read this standalone and didn't know what Rich's stuff's all about, you would probably not want to read it. I think this is going to be a good graphic novel. I mean, we spoke about that before, where like you get the single issue and it's not quite what you expect, but it's because it's a build-up issue, so you kind of need to read all 5 or all 6 in one go, like as a graphic rather than single issues. Sometimes I think it's really kind of hurt. I think sometimes it really hurts books by giving them to come out monthly, because I'm not going to lie. If someone doesn't pick this next month when it comes out, I probably won't read it, because I will forget about it. And that's literally not because I don't want to read it. I'll just forget that it exists, which is a real derogatory to the book, because this could be something really special. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that is the beauty of this show. If we don't, I mean, something like Layla Star, it was inevitable that one of us was always going to pick it, because it was fantastic, and we all agree how amazing it was. Made in Korea, goes without saying, we're close friends with Jeremy, so we knew that we was going to read that every single week it was out. With something like this, I totally agree with you. If one of us don't read it, it falls off the radar, because I mean, like, let's be honest, there's around 70 to 80 comics that come out every single week, and we all read different like comics. We're all into different stuff, and if one of us doesn't pick anything, it's easy to fall off. It's like if Andy hadn't told me about how good Silver Coin was, I wouldn't have read it. We'd be issue 11 now, and I wouldn't have read it. I wouldn't have a clue. So yeah, it's enjoyable doing this, because it's something that we might not enjoy reading, because we might not be attracted to it. But then when we do get to read it, we're like, actually, thanks for that. So yeah,
it's a bit like the Maze book by Jeff Lemire. I really enjoyed that, but I have not read the last 2 issues because we didn't pick it, and I've only just thought about it now.
And funny, I'm exactly the same. I haven't read the last 2 issues because we didn't pick it, so I don't know. I don't necessarily think that that's to do with the story, but I think it's just because we tend to just go with the books that we pick. At least I really only prioritize those books. But yeah, it's again, that's the beauty of graphic novels, isn't it? Whenever we have that section that we can pick it up.
And we've got a few people in the chat that are responding to the question that we put out. It says, I have to be on my own. If not, I'll take anything in it and read over the pages over and over again. Whackers Ashes, I prefer a quiet place to read comics. When I was a kid, I used to read in bed, staying up too late. I'm still doing that now at 37 years old, mate. So some things never change. And Leon Russell, everyone's favourite Heisenberg of YouTube. Good high back chair with natural light and perhaps some classical music on the gramophone for comics. Quite the contrast from other reading where I prefer semi-darkness.
Yes.
You know, I was talking about the comment of the night.
We need to get a gold stamp.
That is an amazing, like, he got me, he reeled me in there where I prefer semi-darkness. Yeah, there we go. That's a killer. That's the killer. That's the killer comment. The killer comment. There we go. And for that, you win absolutely nothing, because we are absolutely atrocious with giveaways.
True.
So anyway, moving on. That's 3 comics.
Whilst I remember, the Jeremy Holt signed books are now with my stackery, so I have got them. I just need to get them shipped over. So we have got them.
So Chris Bell, you will be receiving yours sometime around September 2023. So make sure you look out for that one. Yeah, look, this is everyone's favourite evening, a semi in the darkness.
This was my nickname at university.
When you think it was
it's my autobiography.
Yes.
There we go. When you think it was the handrail walking up the stairs, it was just a semi in the darkness. There we go. That's it.
Sing that again.
Semi in the darkness.
Yeah, that's
my dad. There we go.
Speaking of semi in the darkness, slipping digits.
Speaking of semis, anyway, talking about slipping digits and flick of the wrist.
Do you remember what we used
God, you're caught short there.
Do you remember when we used to do a family show?
We used to be a family show, didn't we? Well, I misflicked. Do you remember when we used to be a family show and we used to show Peachy Derrieres?
Peaches.
Should we bring that should we bring that segment back? I don't know. It's up to the chat. What do you think?
Shall we bring that segment back?
Shall we bring that segment back?
That was a good one. Yeah, look, and we got before we move on to the killer keys, we've got Fuzzy done. I can read anywhere, but if the phone is anywhere near me, I'm screwed. It just doesn't go in.
Wait, hold on.
I read that wrong.
There we go.
I've definitely read 100%. I've read that wrong, and I'm now reading it. I'm now reading it again. I can read anywhere, but if the phone is anywhere near me, I'm screwed. It just doesn't go in. I think what he means is that he's reading the comic and it doesn't go in. The fact that the phone doesn't.
The show has turned to absolute filth.
Anyway, yes, there we go. Right, so Tom, it's over to you, sir.
Yes, so here we go then, guys. So it is the time of that time of the show. That time of the show? Time of the show with the killer keys. These are the killer key comics that I think you guys should go out and pick up on the 19th and 20th of this month, which is next week. So first up is the Donny Cates and Ryan Otley Hulk issue 6. This one comes out next Wednesday, which is the 20th of April 2022. And the reason I think you guys should pick this up because there's a lot of hype around this new Titan. It's the first appearance of this Titan Hulk, and Donny Cates has pitched it as the Hulk's version of Null. And this time it's not going to just end with a big arc. This is a character that's going to be sticking in Hulk's universe for a very long time to come, and he's definitely going to be making Banner's life a misery. So I'm really interested to read this. I don't know if you guys have been reading Hulk. I fell off at issue 3, or no, issue 4, where they bring in the giant Spider-Man version of Hulk. I need to pick it back up because I really did enjoy it up to that point. I just haven't read it because I've been reading our stuff. But yeah, massively recommend picking this one up, guys.
I've been reading it, and the Titan I think he was portrayed, or I think it was in issue 3 that he came across as Hulk's version of Null.
Yes, yeah.
That's the way it was sold. But yeah, I'm glad to know that he's sticking around because I think Null was a flick in the pan. He was done. Do you remember that show, Andy, where we really hyped it up, and it just didn't happen?
Yeah, well, I'd be careful with that one because Null may have been in the King in Black situation, but Donny Cates did release a few months ago that Null isn't.
I see that.
Ever going to see Null. He will be returning at some point.
Yeah.
So there's huge hype behind that, which is why I would suggest picking up this one before in 6 months' time you're paying 50 quid to get Hulk issue 6 just because it's got the first appearance of this Hulk Titan, when you could just pay £3 for it. And if it isn't what it's going to become in the future, you've only spent 3 quid. Do you know what I mean?
This is on my pull list. I'll pick this up every week because I think the artwork by Ryan Otley is great. He really does draw Hulk well.
Yeah, he's pretty good, to be fair. You can't knock him.
What was the issue with the massive giant Wolverine?
That was
issue 2 or 3.
Yeah,
that's as far as I got in this.
Yeah.
I need to catch up.
Oh, you did?
Hulk's imagination, I think, on that one.
Yeah. There we go.
Next up is Wonder Woman, written by Stephanie Phillips and artwork by Mike Hawthorne. This one is Wonder Woman Evolution issue 6. This has been a really good run. They've introduced brand new characters, brand new antagonists and stuff. This particular issue, which comes out on the 19th of April 2022, which is next Wednesday. This one is particularly interesting because this is the first appearance and lead-in to a new story arc about a brand spanking new Wonder Woman villain that has been pitched on Twitter by Stephanie to say that it is going to be a turning point in Wonder Woman's history. So the idea of this evolution is the fact that this new villain is going to flip Wonder Woman's universe on its head. And this villain isn't just going to be a flash in the pan, apparently. But then they say that about every villain. I mean, Miracle Molly was supposed to be not a flash in the pan. So was Punchline. But hey-ho, they're Batman villains. This is a Wonder Woman villain. Hopefully this one might stick around. But actually, guys, bit of a trivia for you. Apart from like Ares, and Cheetah, can you guys name any Wonder Woman villains?
No,
nor me.
I actually can't.
No, nor me.
Medusa.
Yeah. I don't know.
Silver Swan.
There you go. Andy's on it. Andy knows.
Quick question. You know, when they say that DC release on the 19th, are you able to go into any comic shop and pick them up on a Tuesday? It's not, they're on the Wednesday, aren't they?
No.
Wednesday,
In America, you can. In America, they do it. In America, I believe you can go and get your comics on a Tuesday and a Wednesday. But here in the UK, because of the way the distribution is with Diamond, they send everything on the same day. And they also send it to you 2 weeks later.
Of course they do. But yes, so we have Wonder Woman Evolution issue number 6.
Yeah, and then finally not finally, there's another one. But another book to pick up this week, guys, is Avengers issue 55. This one is the first full appearance of the new Serpent Superior Squad. So this is the people on the front cover, so it's their cover appearance as well as their first appearance in the book. They are brand spanking new characters. It's not just a team appearance of characters they've got together. These are all brand spanking new characters. They're making their first appearance in an Avengers book. This is written by Jason Aaron, who is an amazing writer, and the Avengers run has been pretty good so far. It's kind of a good standalone, not standalone. What I'm thinking of, it's a good like cornerstone book for Marvel. Like it's probably one of the best books they've got going consistently at the moment. It's not amazing, it's not groundbreaking, but it's a good consistent book every month, which I would recommend you pick up. This one comes out on the Wednesday, which is the 20th of April. So yeah, well worth picking up, guys.
I switched off from the Earth's Mightiest Avengers around issue 27.
Yeah, is that the Starbound?
Yeah, it was literally, I think it was the Starbound, and I was just like, I can't. It was never ending. It just kept going on, and I kind of felt like that towards the Immortal Hulk as well. Around issue 35, I was like, "Where's this going?" And then obviously we ended on issue 50. When I knew it was ending, I caught up.
Yeah,
but I can't see where this is going to end. Like I just really can't. And they're introducing new characters now. Issue number 55.
Yeah,
it's like, where are we going?
Yeah, no, agreed, mate. The best thing about the Avengers that think at the moment is the little stories, the little snippets of this. Looking back at the old school Avengers, like when Odin was an Avenger and the Phoenix was part of the Avengers. I think that's a really interesting story, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes, because we've got this Thor comic coming up in a couple of weeks' time, which will be a key, which is where we find out that the Odin power, or the Odin force, is actually in Mjolnir. So you find out the origins of how Mjolnir was actually built and forged, and that's all coming up. But this is also leading into that, because it's got something to do with the Phoenix and Odin. So, yeah.
That's interesting. That's interesting. And what's also interesting is what Gray just said. In Japan, you have to wait till Saturday to get your comics.
Is that the American comics?
That must be.
That's mental, though, isn't it? Like, to think that you like comics released on a Wednesday. Well, I guess it's not. I guess if you buy your comics on a Wednesday, if you buy them, unless you're going to a shop and you buy them on a Wednesday, you have to wait 2 or 3 days before you get them in the post anyway. So, the wonders of online comic reading, I guess.
And then finally, which no one is probably going to be interested, because you can't pick it up in the UK unless you're reading it on Manga Sale, is the next issue of Shonen Jump, which is the Japanese book that you can buy in Japan, which is all the books collected into one. But you can read these on Manga Sale if you are interested in reading any of the chapters that are.
What number would you start at? Because it's only. Did you just type in digits here? Did you just decide I'm going to go with 265?
Yeah. So this book is been going on for years. So yeah, this is like issue 2645. But there are single first issues within this book. So there are a couple of first issues. You've got. I can't even read half of these, to be fair, because they're in strange names. But anyway, the reason I've picked this one is anyone that is interested in One Piece. This is they've got the cover for this. So this is Luffy. He's the main character from One Piece. So he's on the main cover for this. But also the main story.
It does look great.
It is cool. But he's the main story of this is One Piece. It's getting on to its 1045th issue, and in this issue Luffy is going to go to the next level of his ability. So they're calling it a key because this is one issue people aren't going to want to miss on where Luffy goes and how far he's going to go with his abilities in what he can do. So yeah.
And Grace said
exactly.
These Shonen Jumps are like the old telephone directors. They're huge. Is it called One Piece because they bring out one piece a month? Because
yeah,
at 2,643 issues, man. When did you start reading this? 1967.
No. So One Piece is only at 1,000 issues.
Okay.
Shonen Jump itself has been going a lot longer than One Piece, but it is weekly. These come out weekly. So and there is only one artist and one writer for most of the art that's in this book. But the Shonen Jump books collect. I mean, I think there's not just One Piece in this book. So there is 23 different stories in this one book.
This is what confuses me, man. There's probably like 750 characters. There's 2 pieces in the one piece.
Yeah.
My brain cannot comprehend.
Charlie, listen, Charlie, you can deal with X-Men. You're never going to do this.
And you know, the one video that's trying to put me off X-Men is the Not Quite Mint, where they did the, I don't know, X of Swords or...
X of Swords, yeah.
Oh my God, it was like I was reading an encyclopedia. I switched off in biology and chemistry. I wasn't going to go back to school just to read X-Men. Do you know what I mean?
X of Swords was one of the biggest letdowns for me ever, because I'm such a big X-Men fan, and that really put me off, and I've not really read anything since X-Men.
And there we go. See, I switched off at the right time. And on that, there we go. Look, Charlie Maths. See, look, quick maths. Quick maths, man. Maths is my strong point. It's not really. It's really not. But go on, Tom. Go on. If we scan this, do we get taken to your nude only fans?
I don't know, mate. I don't know if it works. I don't know. You'll have to try. You'll have to get your phones out and try, see if it works. See where it takes you. It could take you to my OnlyFans. It could take you to my Not Quite Mint page. Could take you to the website. I don't know. I don't know where it takes you.
But there we go. It's Instagram.notquite. What you need to do, you need to add your Tom mailing on there as well, because that's where you do all your artistic, your talents and stuff. So yeah, give him hit that little dingly scan button and give him a scan up. But it's time. So raise your beers in the air, raise your tenants in the air if you're ABZ.
Put your hands in the air like you just don't care.
It's time for the funkiest tune on YouTube.
Indeed it is.
I love this part of the show because I can sit back and you can take control.
Just sit back, have a drink, have a beer, everybody relax. It's a killer indie time. This is for the books that are coming out next week, April 20th. And first up, we have Slumber, issue number 2 from Image Comics. This is written by Tyler Burton Smith, and the art is by Vanessa Cardinale. And if you remember, we did review issue number 1 of this.
Yeah, we did. I loved it.
I thought it was great. I can't remember which week it was, but definitely go and check out the rewind if you can.
3 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago.
3, was it? Cool. So Slumber, issue number 2, it suggests that Officer Finch discovers that his body has been taken over by a nightmare serial killer while he sleeps. Desperate to clear his name, Finch seeks out Stetson to erase the murderous nightmare from his dreams for good. So it kind of sounds as if it's leading how we thought it would when we reviewed issue number 1. But yeah, for me, I'll definitely be picking up issue number 2 just to see what happens. What about yourself?
Is that a police officer on the front?
Yeah.
It is.
So that's obviously him in his nightmare. It must be in his nightmare.
Yeah, I love the fact that it was kind of like Monsters Inc.
Yeah.
It was like an adult Monsters Inc. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this. And I think Tom, from what I know, I think Tom liked it as well.
Yeah, I think he did. I think it might have been Tom that
it was Tom's picks. Yeah, so if he didn't like it, then I don't know. But yeah.
Next up, we have another one of Tom's picks, if I remember rightly. We Live, Age of Palladians.
This came in like 4 editions, didn't it?
It did. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we got a bit confused. It's easy to confuse us, but we did. Wow, where did Tom go?
I need a wee. Sorry, I'm back now, though.
All right, Miles. So we Live, Age of Palladians, issue number 2 by Aftershock Comics. This is written by Roy Miranda and artwork by Inaki Miranda. I'm not going to read the whole synopsis for issue number 2 because it's about 10 or 12 sentences, and I don't think we'll need to read the comic once we've read it. So just take our word for it. Go check out issue number 2. I thought issue number 1 was okay. But it would really need to ramp things up for me to keep reading. What about yourself?
Is this a variant cover, or is this the main cover?
I think this is the main cover.
Is it really?
Yeah.
That's interesting because it doesn't give anything away. Like if I was to pick this up, I'd think this was like a Power Rangers.
Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly the vibe it gives us. But
yeah, then I think we spoke when we reviewed this. We said it was very Mighty Morphin Power Rangers esque. The whole
had
story.
That vibe.
So maybe that's the kind of angle they're going in. Tom?
But I'm just glad that we got the opportunity to read We Live.
Michelle making a cup of tea?
I was going to say.
I'll have a cup of tea. Cheers, Michelle.
Michelle, I've got a segment here to do. Come on. Next up, we have Triskelly. I'm gonna go with Triskelly. Issue number 1. This is written by Felipe Pan, and the art is by Mona Ramos. Now, I had a little IG search for Mona Ramos on. He's absolutely fantastic. Brazilian, and the work is phenomenal. So the cover gives you the sort of vibe of the artwork. I would highly recommend that you try and pick this up. The synopsis says, when young Alec Ellis is granted a magical gift on Sondheim night, whatever that is, the scales of power on the island of Albion are inadvertently shifted. Now, together with his friends, he is about to embark on a dangerous journey that shall decide the fate of the entire kingdom. Set in a medieval world populated by characters and events from Celtic myths and legends, Triskeli is a visually stunning journey into the world of a once-forgotten traditions. It's an epic story of courage and friendship, imbued with fascinating characters and steeped in the magic of Welsh and Irish folklore.
I'm into this because this kind of it looks like Twig, and it looks like the cross between Twig, Zelda, and Lord of the Rings.
Zelda.
And Lord of the Rings. So this looks great. I'm all for this.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
got
looking
that
forward
vibe.
to this.
I think
This
the
looks-
artwork is going to sell this one, and obviously you can't go wrong with a bit of folklore. So
I like the fact that the artwork looks unfinished.
you think?
Yeah,
I think it's got that. I think it's less about being unfinished. It gives them more of a sort of motion. It feels as if
maybe
it's
that's
it's
maybe
moving.
that's what with my simple Southeast London mind. That's what I'm
I
trying
think
to
it's
say.
really
Southeast.
clever. I think it's a really clever bit of artwork. That there's two things that's really clever about this. Firstly, it looks like the boy at the bottom is imagining everything, so everything's coming out of his head. And secondly, it's in the shape of a crow.
Well, have you fucking mind blown? Have you just seen that? That is.
I can't unsee it now. I've never seen that at all. Tom, if I had a hat covering this bald head, I'd tip it.
I know.
Tom,
Hold on.
I'm here all week.
Wait a minute. Hold on. That deserves that.
That is, Tom, you've smashed that. You smashed it. But the only thing you didn't smash is that your QR code actually took
I know, yeah.
took off my shelf to a reactivation page with multiple plans and costs. The multiple plans and costs are for the weekly installments of Tom's OnlyFans page. So
Yeah, sorry about that.
it's not broken.
yeah.
He's just very shrewd, and he that's what he does. But yeah, okay. So there we go. I can't unsee that crow now.
I definitely have to pick up this. This
I
issue.
do now.
Yes,
Definitely, that looks great.
It does look good. I like the way they've done it. It's clever.
Tom,
there's-
you might want to
there's-
cover your
There's been
eyes.
so much hype
Brilliant.
around this, so I cannot wait to read this.
Listen, this is the next big book.
100%.
Mark my words. This is cancelled issue number 1. This is written by David A. Byrne, and the art is by Publico Man. Yeah, we'll go for it. This is
Public man.
Let's keep going. We've got Black
Public now?
Caravan. Shush, stop. This is a Black Caravan release through Scout Comics.
This is nice.
And the narrative reads, when washed up kids show host Larry finds himself replaced by Croucho the Clown, he tries to destroy the local town television tower, but instead gets himself electrocuted and sucked into the airwaves.
Fucking brilliant. It's a clown.
So this is going to be right. You're going to love this, Tom, I think. But this is haha vibes for me.
100%. This is ha vibes.
Yeah. It looks like fucking haha vibes to me. Yeah, absolutely brilliant.
I think
Ice
me and
cream
Charlie
man.
will be the only one that's actually laughing. To be fair,
Yeah, I'm definitely picking this when this comes out.
Yeah, do it. Oh, I won't be on that week.
all those wonderful clown covers that we've got.
There has been. If you do get the opportunity to people in the chat, if you go over to League of Comic Geeks, you can see how many covers. There's some amazing covers out. What I'm going to do after the show, I'm going to send Tom every single one.
Hashtag turning my phone off.
For the next 30 days on Instagram, on WhatsApp, and I'm going to also package them up and print them out and send them to him for the next 30 days.
Well, I'd just like to say, guys, it's been ever such a pleasure being on this show. I'd like to just hand in the towel now.
The white flag.
I'm going back to my own show. See you guys.
But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. It has been quite pushed, to be fair. Everywhere I've kind of looked, I've seen this. So I'm looking forward to this. And yeah, the ironic thing is that it hasn't been cancelled. So yeah, it's interesting.
That is everything from me. It was short and sweet this week, only 4 comics. And again, perpetual.comics on Instagram if you are that way inclined.
And this one also takes you to a place where you have to put in your bank details, and you will be then taken to a foreign transaction page where you have to put in everything and you will get nothing back. So make sure you head over to perpetual.comics and give that a little dingly scan. Next, there we go. So what have we got next? We have got the killer trades for April 20th. So obviously this is tying in with the way that we're going with the killer keys and the indies. So we're giving you a week in advance. Up first, I'm so glad you picked this, Andy. This has been incredible.
I haven't read one single issue of this, but I've heard really good things. Well, you don't need to read it to review it. So, this shows tells you that. So this is vinyl.
Sorry, we're supposed to read the books?
Yeah, exactly. This is vinyl trade paperback, 160 pages. It's going to come in about 15, 16 quid. This is written by Doug Wagner and art by Dave Stewart and Daniel Hilliard through Image Comics. And it collects vinyl issues number 1 to 6.
Mm-hmm.
I think I heard Triple G really bigging this up, saying it was a really good story. So I'm definitely going to make sure that I pick up the trade paperback. Charlie, you've been reading it, haven't you?
I read three issues of it, and again, because like new comics came out, I kind of fell by the wayside. But it is great. It tells the story of like like an assassin type of corrupt cop situation. It's really good. It kind of flips on his head, and he becomes the hero of the situation that he's created, where he's the villain. So it's really interesting. It's great, and it kind of gets all a bit messed up and stuff. So yeah, so that's really I'm glad you picked this. I actually totally forgot about this. So I'm glad you've kind of bought it, and you've let me know the date of when it's coming out. So thanks for that.
Welcome.
Oh, nice. So yeah, I picked DC's Dead Planet, which is the follow-up from Deceased. Written by Tom Taylor, artwork by Terry Hershine. So this is basically the carry on from Deceased. So they've left the planet and they've decided to go back and save the planet because they think they can. They know that Cyborg is there. They know they can take on the this is I really enjoyed Deceased. I thought it was great. It was the first appearance of the Justice League from that era, like the upcoming Justice League. So you ended up with the new Green Lantern, new Superman. This is the first time Jonathan Kent becomes Superman in this book. Damian Wayne is Batman in this. Really good. I thought it was a really good comic, and I love the way it all goes with Ollie, who is the Green Arrow. I think the story with him and Carol is amazing because she's the new Green Lantern.
I've really enjoyed every DC, every Deceased. Yeah. Like, I've really enjoyed it, and I kind of
really clever.
I think people know me by now that I picked up all the Martina covers. I picked up all the standard covers.
I'm the same, yeah.
And it was great. So yeah, I'm looking forward. I thought this would have come out earlier, considering that this finished ages ago.
Well, the thing is, right? So with DC, I know this from being on the inner circle. So with DC, they will continue to sell the hardcovers until people stop buying them, and then they bring out the trade paperbacks.
Right. Okay. So
people have obviously stopped buying as many DC's hardcovers, so they've now gone on to the trade paperbacks.
Right. It's craft, isn't it?
So this has probably been out a while.
It's basically just money making, isn't it? But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading that. See, I've gone for a bit of role playing this week, and I've gone for the Marvel Multiverse role. Yeah, we do. The role playing. Well, you've been role playing. You went away for a toilet and came back as Miles Morales. The Marvel Multiverse role playing game, the playtest rulebook. I know absolutely nothing about this, so I'm literally just going to say, introducing the Marvel Multiverse role playing game. Take on the roles of Marvel's most famous superheroes, or create entirely new ones. To get started, all you need is this book, 3-sided dice, and a group of friends. Players will grab each other, the playtest rulebook, and will also have the chance to offer official feedback of the rules and shape the game for its full release. So it's technically not a trade paperback, but it's a rule book. It's 104 pages. It's going to cost you $7.99. It's written by Matt Forbeck, art by the fantastic Ivan Coelho. So yeah, it's something different this week, but I thought, yeah, why not? It looks.
So I'm guessing
good.
This is going to be very much like D&D, but like the Marvel version.
Yeah, so they've basically said it is. It's co-created by Matt Forbeck, the Marvel Encyclopedia, Dungeons and Dragons, Endless Quest, and packed with illustrations by Marvel's amazing artists. So there we go.
I might get this just because I quite like the D&D kind of like rule books. Just it's cool to see the artwork they put in it, and they always put in really cool detail about characters. Really good for people who like designing characters, for sure. This kind of stuff.
Yeah. See you later, Fuzzy. Thanks very much for joining as always. And yes, Andy has got some fantastic props to show off. I'm looking forward to seeing him again out of the box. You're going to keep him out? Are you going to put him out of the box? Or are you going to keep him in the box?
No, I'll probably keep them in. I'm not some sort of monster. Come on.
There we go. Right.
Oh,
shocking. So I've gone for the Savage She-Hulk, the omnibus hardcover, a massive, huge, 648 pages, costing you $100. Written by Stan Lee and David Anthony Kraft, and the art is by John Buscema and Alan Krupperberg. And this is basically collecting the Savage She-Hulk from issues 1 to 25 and the Marvel 2-in-1 from 1974, issue number 88. She looks great on here, and she's killed an elephant. So why wouldn't you want to pick this up? It looks great. I'm really enjoying. Yeah, it is. Yeah, well, no, obviously it's not great because she killed an elephant, but.
Do you know it's $100. It's $100.
Yeah, but you can get nearly 1,000 pages.
No, it's 648.
Yes, but yeah.
that's way off 1,000.
Yeah,
Charlie math.
You're going to get
almost 1,000 pages. Yeah, 400 short.
It is hashtag Charlie maths, but you get 648 pages of Jennifer Walters.
Oh wow, almost 1,000.
It's almost 500. But you know what I mean. You get. I'm really enjoying the latest She-Hulk. So moving swiftly on. There we go. And we'll go there. I know that Buffy is quite sought after. I didn't realise how sought after she was in comic book form. I used to watch the TV series, but there is quite a fan base for Buffy the Vampire Slayer on Boom Studios. This is Buffy the Vampire Slayer volume 9. The trade paperback, 112 pages, $14.99, written by Jeremy Lambert and the art by Marina Ignazzi. And this is We Are the Slayer begins here. So obviously this is a different arc where I don't know anything about Buffy, but I'm just highlighting this because there's so many Buffy fans out there. So I thought it was only right to them.
It's their second highest grossing monthly comic book.
Wow.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
That is mental to think.
So it comes obviously Something's Killing the Children is number 1. This is number 2. Consistent book. Not saying stuff like, I mean, if you look at like Seven Secrets, that was really big for a couple of weeks, or a couple of months, and it's kind of died off a little bit. But this is its consistent monthly book that comes out, second top after Something's Killing the Children. Really clever.
Yeah. So yeah, this collects Buffy the Vampire Slayer from issue 29 to issue 32. So not a massive book. It's not going to break the bank, but if you are into Buffy, make sure you head over and pick it up. So yeah, that's all the trade paperbacks. Just want to highlight a comment from Rakazashi's Tea House at Off My Shelves. Congratulations on hitting 1,000 subs, by the way. Very well done. It's always good to see a fellow UK YouTube content creator hitting 1,000 subs. So well done on that. If you haven't checked him out yet, head over to his channel and check that out because it is quite interesting, if not more than quite. It is very interesting. Rakazash's Tea House, they're all in Japanese where I live. I can get hold of the originals and they are cheaper than the English translations. So there we go.
Ooh.
So we are at that point of the show where we go to this slide. Now, Tom, don't panic. Right, don't panic. Right, we're going to do something.
I'm not even looking.
We're going to do something that might be a bit foreign to you. So this is the point of the show where normally I run away with it. I'm Usain Bolting it. I'm gone. Right, it's changed this week. This is something I'm not familiar with. Who wins cover of the week for week number 15? So in third place we've got Charlie with another Venom cover with a measly 13%. In second place, we've got Andy the Oracle with an amazing 1 in 100 Jenny Frisson cover at 41%. And yes, I know, people, pinch yourself. slap yourself and make sure that you are in the real world. It is happening. Tom has
Return
won
of the Mac.
his first cover of the week with the fantastic David Mack Return of the Slaughter Pack. Something's Killing Children, issue number 14 with a fantastic 47%. So, Tom, you've waited 15 weeks and it is finally happening. Andy's left. Andy's left. There we go. But yeah, congratulations.
Thank all my fans and all my friends that are in the chat. Mum has voted about 40 times. Thanks, Mum. Thanks for coming.
Tom, congratulations.
Thanks, mate.
Wow.
It's only took 15 weeks.
Thank you to everybody who voted. 40 votes is absolutely amazing. 26 thumbs
cheers,
up.
guys.
It's mental.
We
massive
really
thanks.
appreciate it. And
Thanks
we are
everyone for
only
being here. Thanks for giving your Thursday night to spend time with us.
Yeah,
That's so
absolutely.
cool.
We are only having fun and having a bit of banter with us. But yeah, well done, Tom.
But yeah, so Tom has won, and we've got some good congratulations. We've got congratulations, Tom, from Leon Russell. We've got woo woo. Oh no, that's from you. Yeah,
That's me.
Say woo. And then we've got congratulations, Tom. What's going on, guys? See, even he's as shocked as we are. Normality will resume next week. Don't worry about that.
You know what? I can die. I can actually leave the show happy now. So I'm actually going to hand in my retirement, knowing that we're going to have to read some kind of horror comic about clowns. I'm going to hand in my resignation now that I've actually won a cover of the week. I can die happy. Cheers, guys. Thanks very much. I will see you all later. Bye.
Do you know what? I've got to thank you guys. I don't laugh so much. I laugh so much on the show. So thank you so much. Right. So that's it. We've given Tom enough praise, but there we are. We're on to the Killer Comic Show sneak peek for next week. So up first, we've got
me. So I've gone for Not Terror, which is written by Scott Snyder and the artwork by Tony S. Daniels. I love this book. I love this series. It's one of my favorite series is going on. I cannot wait to read the next issue. This one, I think, has been one of my most consistent kind of pickups to read each week or each month. So I'm really excited to see where this one's going. This one is especially exciting for us, I think, to read because old Blacktop Bill has joined the crew. So he's no longer the villain. He's actually joined the crew. So he's now become like an anti-hero. So I'm excited about reading that. So yeah, that's my pick.
I'm looking forward to this. I've gone for. Guess what I've gone for, Andy? I've gone for another Venom comic. Now,
a much improved cover, I see. Well done.
But the thing is, I've gone for this issue because speaking to Ram, this is his favorite issue, what he's done so far.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I was like, okay, fair enough. I'm looking forward to this. And this is he said between issue number 3 and issue number 7, there's things he's done in this that he doesn't normally do. So this is why I've gone for it, and I have gone for it. And what I like about this cover is that if you look at Venom's arm, it's very much Terminator 2.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm looking forward to reading it. So yes, I've gone for another Venom 2. Andy's delight. I've gone for another Venom comic. There we go. And then Andy. Never
Mr.
rains,
Predictable.
but it pours.
Indeed. Rain, issue number 4. It's going to be one of those books that we have to go right to the end. Was it 5 issues? 5 or 6 issues? So really looking forward to Rain, issue number 4 to see what David Boer and Zoe Thorogood have to offer.
And that is the end of that.
The end is near.
Another week down. I hope everyone. Firstly, thanks for every single person that has joined us in the chat. I think Darren, about an hour and 40 minutes late, mate, but welcome. If you've just joined us, which you clearly have, Darren, you would have known that the stars aligned. There was pigs flying, and Tom won cover of the week. Let me just show you what won him cover of the week. Let me just go back all the way to the hour and a half start.
No, we don't. I mean, we don't have to. Like, we could just.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Because Andy said his comic was the best one of the year.
This is the comic cover that won, and it's he fell asleep at 8. See what I mean? He fell asleep at 8. And this
that was funny enough. That was probably around about the time that you showed your Venom cover.
Yeah.
Yeah. Victory is ours, Tom. Victory is ours.
Well, like Cuckoo's mate, he just joined the show and pushed him out.
Was that not our plan at the start?
Pretty much, yeah.
This is it.
Is this why you joined the Killer Comic Show?
Absolutely, yeah. So, guys, suddenly much improved.
Hold on a minute. Who's doing that? Right, stop. There we go. Yeah, someone else can end the show. Off you go. Right, so anyway, right. Normality will resume. So, yes, Tom won the cover of the week with this. Absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, so I won cover of the week this week with the David Mack Something's Killing the Children issue 14 reprint. So yeah, happy for me. Thank God.
Oh, Charlie's face.
That's it. You'll get a thank you when we get off air.
But yes, that's it. We can have an evaluation process. You've passed your 3 months probation, but there's a little thing we could discuss. But yeah, anyway, like guys, thanks for making me enjoy my Thursday nights. I absolutely love them. Enjoy spending times with you two misfits. Enjoy spending time with the 20 misfits in the chat. Thanks for always taking part. And that £5 PayPal I transferred to everyone. If you can just transfer it back to me now that Tom's won, that'd be great. Because otherwise, I'm not going to do Charlie's maths because I'm going to get it wrong. But I'm probably about
400 quid short for 1,000.
About that, yeah. There we go. Yeah, I'm about £400 short from a £1 piece, 2-piece comic book cereal box cover.
And everybody should have a wonderful Easter. Enjoy their friends, enjoy their family, be kind to each other, and all that good stuff.
Yes.
And as always, stay safe, guys, and stay sexy.
See you later, guys.
See ya.
See you later.